Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Bold and the Beautiful recap is finally in for Monday, November 3, 2025. In today's episode, Electra Forrester, Linnea Grace, exposes Remy Price's, Christian Weissman, crimes to Deke Sharp, Harrison Cohn. Elsewhere, Brooke Logan Forrester, Catherine Kelly Lang, pressures Deacon Sharp, Sean Kanan to leave Sheila Carter Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown. In the showroom, Deke is baffled when everyone is furious as Remy walks into the room. Electra is horrified and Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, lunges for a punch. However, Deke stops Will from doing anything. Everyone suddenly realizes how confused Deke is about this situation. Deke is informed about Remy's past. Remy tries to explain that he was friends with Electra, then she moved to Los Angeles. He deep-faked and tormented her because he didn't want to lose his best friend. Wow, that's a weak excuse. Will says that Remy traumatized Electra. Everyone tells Remy how ashamed he should be of his actions. Remy apologizes but gaslights Electra. That is when Electra reminds him that he chased her down and Will had to save her. Remy admits it but regrets it. He's a different person now. Remy begs Electra to find forgiveness and give him a second chance. At Il Giardino, Brooke stops by to see Deacon. They chat about Hope Logan, Annika Noel. Brooke knows Sheila isn't there and she's worried about Deacon. The man says Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, encouraged him to give his marriage another chance. Brooke rehashes all of Sheila's sins. Deacon knows who Sheila is. Brooke says Deke and Hope will be disappointed and concerned. The topic turns to Deke, and Deacon is sure his son has a great guy. Brooke then says she was hoping Taylor would remind Deacon there are lots of other women out there besides Sheila. At the office, Taylor thinks about Deacon, then Sheila bursts in. Sheila gushes about being so thankful for Taylor getting her marriage back on track. Deacon came home, and it's all thanks to Taylor. The doctor looks awkward. Sheila was worried that he would turn to another woman. However, she's glad that everything worked out okay. Taylor suggests Sheila not ruin this second chance. Sheila has no intention of letting this opportunity go to waste. Taylor continues looking awkward, but doesn't take credit for reuniting Deacon and Sheila. The waitress declares that she just knew if anyone could open up Deacon's heart, it would be Taylor. Monday's The Bold and the Beautiful delivered a whirlwind of emotions, secrets ripped open, and a shocking reunion that left the Forrester and Sharp worlds colliding once again. The truth about Remy's loyalty finally came to light in the most devastating way possible, while Deacon's world was rocked by a revelation that forced him to confront the ghosts of his past. And as if that wasn't enough, Brooke and Deacon found themselves sharing a moment that reignited an old, dangerous spark. One that could change everything for Hope, Ridge, and even Sheila. The episode began at Forrester Creations, where tension buzzed through the air like static before a thunderstorm. Luna sat at her workstation, sketching new designs, her mind clearly elsewhere. Her usually serene face was shadowed with anxiety, her eyes darting toward her phone every few seconds. The room felt heavy, filled with the kind of unspoken tension that even Hope and Zende noticed. Remy, meanwhile, was pacing outside the Forrester building, a bundle of nervous energy wrapped in confusion and guilt. He'd spent weeks pretending to play both sides, assuring Luna he was on her team, while secretly feeding information to Steffi about her mental state and possible manipulation tactics. What began as a misguided attempt to protect Luna had spiraled into something far darker, and Monday's episode brought that reckoning front and center. As he stepped into the design office, Hope's eyes narrowed. "Remy, you look like you've seen a ghost," she teased gently, but it wasn't entirely a joke. He had him the ghost of his own choices. Luna tried to speak to him, but the tremor in her voice gave away the strain between them. Before she could continue, Steffi entered with that trademark CEO authority, exuding confidence and suspicion all at once. "I think it's time we clear the air," she said sharply, her gaze flicking from Luna to Remy. "There are too many secrets in this building, and one of them is about to explode." Steffi's timing couldn't have been more deliberate. Over the weekend, she'd received an anonymous tip, a partial audio file of Remy discussing Luna's hospital stay and her medication changes with none other than Finn's medical associate. The implication was devastating. Remy had been tracking Luna's recovery behind her back. Steffi pulled out her phone and pressed play. The sound of Remy's voice filled the room. "I'm not sure she's stable enough to go back to work. If Finn's right, she could relapse." The silence that followed was deafening. Luna's face went pale, her eyes wide with betrayal. You were talking to Finn about me?" she whispered, her voice trembling. Remy froze. "It wasn't like that. I was trying to help." "Help?" Luna snapped, her voice breaking. "You made me feel paranoid, like I couldn't trust anyone, and now I know why. You were feeding them information, my private medical information." Hope tried to intervene, but Luna's fury was volcanic. "You made me think you cared, Remy. You made me believe you were the only person I could count on." Steffi, always one to capitalize on a rival's downfall, folded her arms and added coolly, "Looks like you were wrong about that, Luna." Remy's eyes darted between them, desperate and raw. "I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I thought Finn and Steffi wanted to help you." You thought you could control me," Luna interrupted, her voice shaking. "You're just like everyone else who's tried to save me. But all you did was destroy the one thing I had left. Trust." Across town, at Il Giardino, Deacon was trying to keep his focus on business, but his thoughts kept drifting back to Sheila. Their relationship had ended in disaster, and though she was gone, for now, her shadow still loomed large in his mind. Then came the text that shifted everything. "We need to talk. It's about Luna." The message was from Finn, and Deacon's stomach dropped. The last time he'd spoken to Finn, the topic of Luna's instability had come up in hushed tones. But this message felt urgent, almost desperate. When Finn arrived, Deacon immediately asked, "What's going on? Is Luna okay?" Finn hesitated before answering. "She's physically fine, but emotionally, I'm not so sure. Someone close to her has been feeding information about her condition. It could trigger her anxiety all over again." Deacon's expression hardened. "You're talking about Remy, aren't you?" Finn nodded grimly. "It looks that way. But that's not all, Deacon. There's another angle. Something you need to know." The camera zoomed in on Deacon's face as Finn revealed that Luna's biological father might not be who everyone thinks he is. There's a chance her paternity test was tampered with. It's possible that Bill Spencer isn't her father, and the evidence points to someone else. Deacon froze, a haunted look crossing his features. He muttered under his breath, "Don't tell me." Finn didn't have to. Deacon's memories flashed. The brief connection with Poppy years ago, the night that had been brushed off as meaningless. Now it came rushing back with gut-punching clarity. Deacon Sharp might be Luna Nozawa's real father. While Deacon grappled with this shocking revelation, a familiar face walked into Il Giardino, Brooke Logan. Her presence was radiant but weary, carrying that same Logan elegance that has both charmed and broken hearts for decades. Deacon looked up, startled but not unhappy. "Brooke," he breathed. "Wow, it's been a while." Brooke smiled softly, her eyes searching his. "I heard about what happened with Sheila, and I wanted to make sure you were okay." Her concern disarmed him. Despite everything, the history, the pain, the chaos, Brooke still had that effect on him. She always would. They sat down and their conversation turned tender, reflective. Brooke admitted that Ridge had been distant again, that his loyalty to Steffi and Taylor's family often left her feeling like an outsider. "Sometimes I wonder if Ridge and I are just holding on to a dream that's already over," she said quietly. Deacon's eyes softened. "Brooke, Ridge may be the man you always go back to, but he's not the man who sees you." "I did." Brooke looked at him, visibly moved. "You broke my heart, Deacon." "I know," he admitted, his voice thick. "But I never stopped loving you." For a long moment, the two just stared at each other, the history between them palpable. It wasn't about lust or scandal anymore. It was about connection, regret, and the haunting possibility of second chances. Just as their moment reached its emotional peak, Finn burst back into Il Giardino, phone in hand, visibly shaken. "Deacon, we've got a problem," he said urgently. Brooke tensed as Deacon stood. "What is it?" Finn hesitated, clearly torn between confidentiality and urgency. Luna confronted Remy. "It's bad. She knows he's been leaking information, and she's threatening to quit Forrester. But that's not the worst of it. There's a rumor spreading that she's not Bill's daughter after all." Brooke gasped, her eyes widening. "What?" Finn lowered his voice. "I'm not supposed to say this, but the results were tampered with. And when I ran an independent DNA cross-check through hospital records, there was another match." "Deacon, it's you." The silence was crushing. Brooke's hand flew to her mouth as Deacon went pale, nearly stumbling backward. "Me?" he whispered, stunned. "That's impossible." But deep down he knew. The night with Poppy. The way Luna had seemed oddly familiar from the first moment they met. The puzzle pieces fit too perfectly now. Brooke looked at him in disbelief, torn between shock and sympathy. "Deacon, what are you going to do?" He sank into a chair, his head in his hands. "I don't know. If this is true, then I have a daughter out there who doesn't even know me. And she's in pain because of something I didn't even know I did." Brooke reached across the table, her hand brushing his. "Then maybe this is your chance to make things right. To finally be the man you always wanted to be." Their eyes met again, and in that moment, something shifted. Brooke saw a different Deacon, not the reckless bad boy, but a man genuinely broken by the weight of truth. Back at Forrester, Remy was spiraling. After Luna stormed out, he tried to explain himself to Hope and Zende, but the damage was already done. The truth had scorched every bridge he had left. "I thought I was protecting her," he muttered to Hope, his voice fraying. She was losing it after Sheila's attack. "I didn't want her to fall apart again. I was just trying to keep her safe." Hope sighed, torn between empathy and disappointment. "Remy, if you cared about her, you would have trusted her to take care of herself. What you did? That's not love. That's control." He nodded, eyes glassy with regret. "I know, but now I've lost her, and I don't think I can fix it." As he left the building, tears streamed down his face. The once charismatic designer looked hollow, defeated. In his car, he punched the steering wheel, muttering, "I'm not giving up on her. I'll find a way to prove I'm not the bad guy." But the look in his eyes told a different story. One of obsession, not redemption. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Bold and Beautiful Update YouTube channel for more update news.